So, finally, one more welcome back to everyone. We had the FSD winner, we had the FSE winner, and now it's time to present the FSC winner of this year. And I'm very happy to have the team of Essling here again to present the FSC winning team and FSC winning car. Welcome.
Overall winner is car number 294.
So, welcome to our presentation. We are from Renshaw Essling, the FSC winning car of last year. My name is Rieke, and last year I was the organizational team leader of Renshaw Esslingen in my second season.
Yeah, my name is Jens Böck. I'm the technical leader of last year, and it was my third season.
Yeah, my name is Marcus Nenzel. I was support of the powertrain team last year, and it was my last season. I want to tell you something about Renshaw Esslingen, a little bit about the philosophy. It's one team, one passion, one car, and one mission to win Formula Student Germany. To win Formula Student Germany combustion with a car without any compromises. Yeah, at first you have to build an A-class team, and with this A-class team you can build an A-class car. It's an easy sentence, but it's not easy to handle it and to do it. Therefore, a little bit background. You see there, these are some figures of 3 years, not 1 year. You see there, testing kilometers, tires, race engines. Very impressive is 3 years with 3 different tires, 3 different monocoques, 3 different dampers, and 3 different engine concepts. At the end, there's a lot of risk, but there is 2 times Formula Student Germany combustion champion. Yeah, at the end, it's risk versus experience, and Formula Student for us is not to build every year the same car. We don't build heritage cars. Okay, You see there is a 17 car. It's a row 4 naturally aspirated. It was an experienced A-class team, and we can build an A-class car. It was the first US winning FSG. In 18, we made a big step. It's a complete new concept, complete new car, and a nearly new team. Therefore, it's a not so experienced B-class team, and we have to develop this B-class team to an A-class car. But we have not the time to build an A-class team, and we have not the time to build an A-class car. Therefore, it's a B-class car. And with this step, this year we can build with the A-class team one more again, an A-class car, which is the second US winning FSG. And what is also very impressive, we are in aesthetics can win the design, and in dynamics can win the endurance. This is a short overview. Formula Student key to success. You have factors or ingredients like luck, money, or workshop. I think a lot of teams have this. But as an add-on, you need also determination, hardness, improvisation. This is also very, very important. Yeah, creating an A-class team, it's like legends are not born. Legends were created. Therefore, you have to create an A-class team. You see there, Herzblatt, greed to win. You need the will to win. You see there, a team member, he's dirty, he's tired, 20 hours just grinding, welding, but we have to do this because there is the greed. Or thinking outside the box. That's one example. We have spark plugs, we have indication measurement spark plugs, and we have some problems with the spark. But we cannot have a look inside the combustion chamber, and therefore, thinking outside the box, we build our own chamber box and can there handle different closing angles, different pressures, and can simulate, or it's not simulate, it's more than the validation or have the real look on it, and therefore we can handle this problem in a very, very fast time. Then, at the end of the day, on the hardness of the street, you see there, for example, the low voltage guy is cutting some cables with a bolt cutter. He don't want to do it, but he have to do it for the team because there are some problems. And this is an interesting example. For example, it's a motorcycle on a roller chassis dyno. It was completely crashed and fucked off, and we go there, and at full load, the steel frame get bent, and we cannot go to the full load. Therefore, we have to repair it at night that we can finish the full load on a roller chassis dyno. Then, if there are failures, there are often failures, and use them, handle them in the right way, and failures should boost you. If there is a failure, think about it and make it better, and stand up one more time again. High discipline up to the end. To finish first you have to finish. You're not ready if you're at the event. You're ready if the car is starting up to the endurance and you cannot do any more. They're really absolutely to the end. One for all for one. It's like a good team. Play together, help each other. Outstanding troubleshooting and always having backup. If there is a problem you don't know before, for example, something with a crankshaft, just think about it. For example, laser welding, some repair, it doesn't matter. Just fix the problem.
Yes, thank you, Marcus, for explaining how we're building an A-class team. Now I'm going to give you some information on how we, especially in Renstal, are building our team. We have 3 core values on which we stand, and those are knowledge, experience, and team spirit. As you all know, knowledge transfer is very important in case of Formula Student because teams and cars change. In order to keep our knowledge safe and sound, we have regular alumni meetings as well as saving our knowledge in our system. But knowledge transfer is not only important between teams of different seasons, but also in one team during a season. For example, in the cost report, we need the technical experts to give their knowledge to the economics experts in order to succeed in cost report. The second core value is experience. Experience, as Marcus said, can be gained through participating in several Formula Student seasons. In 2019, we had the big advantage of an A-class team, which already knew each other from the 2018 season. As visible here, in the early years of Rennstall, there were only roughly 10 to 15 team members, so quite a small team. The amount of team members rose between 2014 and 17 only a bit, also until like around 15 team members. And then from 2018 to 2020 on, we made a big growth and now are a team of up to 40 team members. This is heaven and hell at the same time, because on the one hand you have more resources, but on the other hand you have way more work in order to control and maintain the team. So now just a quick glance at our structure. As you can see, me and my colleague Jens, we were the team leads last year, and then we had 5 sub-team leaders, as well as some other responsibilities like a CAD responsible person or a workshop responsible person. And while distributing the parts in each sub-team, we always took care that a new member combining with an old member always takes care of one part in order to give the knowledge to the next generation. So apart from the team leads and sub-team leads, everyone in our team is important. Over the borders of sub-team roles, everyone in the team takes over tasks from someone else, starting with working on the car. For example, we had difficulties with our oil system, and from one moment on, nearly one member from each sub-team helped thinking and solving this problem with the oil system. The roles in the team are continuing. Is it like cooking on the event or cleaning up the empty bottles after the event? Is it preparing the design shirts for the engineering design or anything else? No one in our team has only one role. They always have more than one role. But in order to reach this stage of standing up for each other and helping each other, a special team spirit is necessary. And you can only gain that through experiences inside and outside of Formula Student. For example, we go to the Vasen together and help each other out. Before going into the engineering design, we, which means all of us, doesn't matter if you're in the engineering design or not, are helping with the preparations. And afterwards, we can all celebrate together. Another thing, each Sunday when there's Formula 1, we're going to meet at the office and watch it together. But as I said, everyone is important. Everyone can also be tired sometimes. And especially in those times, it's pretty important that other team members can stand up for each other and help us out so that we can still succeed. So, to sum up, Rennstall lives off a flat hierarchy. A driver reaches at the same time the mechanic, and this is for all roles in our team. As I said, no one of our team members only has one role. Everyone has multiple tasks. Also, everyone helps everyone out over sub-team borders. Never forget food preparations for late night shifts, because food is quite important for every one of us, so you also need the guys who prepare the food. And last but not least, discipline. Discipline through the whole team. So, as you can see, in order to be successful during the season, we as a team work with our core values. However, even the best team cannot succeed without hard work and discipline. Another part that is often forgotten or reduced to the minimum are the static disciplines. And you know, it's kind of a big deal. We had a look at the results from the past years from 2016 on. And as you can see in this chart, our points in the overall statics steadily increased. And in 2019, we had over 300 points in every event in the statics. And these points make a real big difference when, for example, the endurance is quite tight between two teams. Pretty sure you all know how the statics work, so I will skip that or an explanation of that. However, I would like to point out the engineering design. As it gives most of the static points, we focused most on that during preparation. And we have to brag a bit, but we won the design in all 3 events that we participated. But what led us to this win are 2 points. First of all, build your own car. Build a car that you really did and not the team before you or anyone else, because then you have the knowledge from every small component that you can show during the engineering design. Second of all, collect memories and knowledge. You can also show that to the engineering design judges, even if it's mistakes or like great achievements, collect everything and show it to the judges. However, I'm telling you now that preparation is key, but you know how it works. the best ideas always come 1 hour before the design event, or at least the night before.
Yeah. Now we want to talk about the Stallado 19, about the technique and the periods of the season, and we want to combine it. Yeah, at the beginning, you see here our car, a rendering of it, and here are some highlights of the cars. And yeah, like Marcus said, we built a new car, and everything was new. And because of this, we decided that we want to build a stable and a conventional car. And yeah, but we have some highlights too. And we have, like here, the cornering optimized aerodynamic package, or the adjustable anti-roll bar at the rear, the new engine, or some other things, but we talk about this later. And yeah, here you can see some facts about the car, and we weighed 203.5 kilograms. That's a little bit, but maybe too much. But I think it's important that the car is driving, and yeah. And I think for the new for the new concept was really important that we have enough test kilometers, and yeah, we drive before the events 720 test kilometers. And yeah, good quote of Claude Ruel. He said in the design finals of Spain, yeah, 203 kilograms, and you are in the design finals. What are you doing here? Yeah, we don't say anything to this, but yeah, we won 3 times. I think it's quite okay. Yeah, and now we want to talk a little bit about the periods of the season. First of all, the concept, and there we begin with with the whole team. We make a timetable, and that everyone know why do we need this deadline? Because design freeze, oh yeah, I need 2 weeks longer or something like this. We don't want this. And yeah, and afterwards we everyone writes his goals and the goals for the car on sheets of papers, and after this we decide the goals for the car and for the team. And here are the goals for the car. Yeah, reliability. Yeah, I think it's the important ones, because yeah, when you don't finish endurance or some other dynamics, 0 points. And yeah, testing time, I think it's really important. And yeah, the drivability. Yeah, we want that the car is easy to drive and that we have excellent ergonomics. And yeah, the third goal was the performance through efficiency. It's like weight versus stiffness, or weight versus downforce, or the tire performance. Yeah, like Marcus said, we drive a lot of different tires this year and in the last years. And yeah, here you can see the tire choice of this year or the last years. We drive from 2011 to 2012, we drive the Goodyear, then 2013 to 2017 the Hoosier, and 2018 the Continental. And yeah, we want to test these tires again, and we test them on track and on a test bench. And yeah, you can see some pictures of it. And yeah, we tested on the test bench, and afterwards on the track with Stallado 17, because it runs very stable, and yeah, the 10-inch and 13-inch tires fits on it. And we decide that we use the Goodyear tire for 2019, and because it's the biggest potential. And yeah, I think we are the only team that's driving at FSG, but yeah, it's working. And yeah, here you can see something. It's our rear-wheel steering. We implemented in Stallado 18 for testing at the beginning of the season. And yeah, this is the first prototype. And yeah, it's working quite well. And it's a little bit heavy, but yeah, it's working. And then we tested a new version of it in Stallado 19. And yeah, it's optimized in weight and something like this. And yeah, we measure very professional the cornering radius with a bottle of water, but yeah, perfect. And yeah, but we have some problems while testing and with the power supply, and then we decide that it's not reliability and that we don't drive it at the event. And now maybe we will talk about the design of our damper system. Yeah, we drive a decoupled two-damper system, and we have a self-developed roll damper. You can see it here when we test it. And yeah, in the rear we have an adjustable anti-roll bar, and it's really important for us that the car, that you have the best compromise of the car for the car and not for one department. And because of this, you can see the monocoque. Here's something like a hole in it. It's here for the roll damper, but it's the perfect package for our car, and yeah, it's working quite well. Yeah, talking about the monocoque, here you can see a little bit of the Rennstall population. Yeah, big one, big guy, small, and yeah, maybe the normal driver here. And yeah, we scanned them, and then with a 3D scanner on an ergonomic test bench, and then we designed a monocoque around the scan. Yeah, and I think the drivers, yeah, they liked it. Maybe it's a little bit big, but yeah, it's working. And yeah, aerodynamic simulation. We simulate with 4 different models. Here the half car, I think a lot of other teams use it. And it's for us only for the beginning. And we optimize our aerodynamic package on the cornering. Here you can see, yeah, we use a few cells, and yeah. And here you can see, yeah, aerodynamics in real. Yeah, I think we build a sustainable combustion car. We recycle here the pizza boxes, and yeah, and we decide that, yeah, maybe Stallado 19 have a mission for the winter. Yeah, let's look. Yeah, Markus.
Yeah. Yeah, we heard a lot about different departments. Now some words about powertrain and engine. You see there, this is our current engine. There are a lot of subsystems, oil system, dry sump, calibration, indication system, intake, exhaust system, and all this stuff. I don't want to talk much about all this in detail. I think you have a lot of experience in this and built your own cars. I want to have a closer look on a little bit the time schedule and our problems and our solutions. You see there, for example, in October 2018, we started with a white sheet of paper. In November, we thought about it, which engine we want to use. Okay, we made some benchmark analysis and some data and some numbers, but it's not so easy to do and to handle this. Therefore, we decided to buy 3 motorcycles, to put them on a roller chassis dyno. You see there different pictures. This, for example, is a Yamaha one. This is a KTM. We put them all in the dyno. We made measurements with indication, with different pressures, temperatures, all this stuff, lambdas, to analyze the data and don't believe all the data which we get. You see there are some graphs. This is the torque from the 3 different engines. This, for example, is the indication, the combustion chamber pressure of the 3 different engines. And therefore, we believe, okay, we know the data, this is the best engine for us, the best base engine. and then we disassembled all these engines, weighed all the parts, made the scannings, made the analyzations, which is the best gas exchange, which is the best main bearing, where we can put on some displacement, some coating, and so on. This is our base. Then, in December, we want to understand all these engines. Next step, in February, we go on a track dyno because we say, okay, this is the best base engine. It was the KTM. And then we go on just with a stock engine to get some experience with oil pressures, oil flow, and all this stuff. Then in April, we made the engine calibration with the stock displacement. We changed the displacement later, but you don't have the time and all the machining capacity, therefore with stock. Then in May, we put the dry sump with a steel oil pan to make there some first experiences. You see there, this is the topic with, for example, always having backup. We want to have a casted one out of magnesium because it's lightweight, it's a good package and everything, but we don't have it. It's not available. And therefore, we made some bending, welding, and improvisation because we have to fix the problem and we have to be in time as good as possible. Then, in June, the crank drain and other modifications, their parts are coming. You see there, own pistons, own rings, own crankshaft, and so on. And we assembled the first race engine. In July, the race engine go to the engine dyno to control, to calibrate it. You see, it's sharp to the events. Then, on the 25th of July, the first time the race engine is in the car and on a test track. And yeah, it works, but we have some fine-tuning and some transient application. And then, 3 days later, we go to FS Austria and tested it. At the end, you can say you have to understand your engine, then you create your race engine, then you have to control it, use it on a test track, and if you're on an event, then show the balls and show your performance. And yeah, at the end of the day, it's risk versus benefit. If you risk too much, maybe the benefit is not there, but handle it as good as possible. I think we have a lot of risk with these components, but it works sharp to the events. You see there, it's a manufacturing topic that we have a schedule with target times and we have actual times. And the problem is if you made some parts like the oil pan or a crankshaft, you cannot do everything at your own and you need sponsors. And the sponsors, they have maybe some time problems or some machining problems. Therefore, you see the CV is a calendar week, and planned was CD ready for manufacturing, and we can handle this because it's in-house. But then the problem is coming with the machining, the hardening, balancing, and all this stuff, dyno and car. You see the calendar weeks, and you see there the delays. The delays get bigger and bigger, but we cannot handle them because it's outsourced, because we have no 5X and cannot machine this, we cannot harden it in-house, and so on. But we need some backups, because, for example, imagine if you're a team captain of powertrain and you have no crankshaft, you have no engine, maybe you cannot sleep or you're afraid that the team is unhappy. And therefore, 5 weeks at the first event, the crankshaft is coming, but we want to have a backup, because never trust the timetable, always have a backup. You can imagine, for example, this is a stock camshaft with a stock stroke. We made there a tooling, we welded it, that we can build up the right stroke with the wrong crankshaft, just as a backup. Then it comes, and you know the timetable from the last charts. At half a week before the first event, we put it in the car, and everything worked. We were quite happy, but it was sharp. You see there, welcome to the 5-axis world, a lot of machining, a lot of sponsors. We're happy that we have a lot of sponsors like you all together, but they cannot do everything for us, and this is also the time problem. You see there a conventional machine, and we have to do a lot of steps in-house because to save time and to save budget and money. You see there machining the crankshaft on an old machine, drilling, machining their holes inside, put there some heavy weights inside to that the shaft is balanced, and then you see there adjustable master weights for the balancing, and then we put it on the machine for the fine balancing, and then the shaft can go into the engine. You see there, this is the beginning. This is not the race engine with the camshaft, with the right crankshaft, but it's the first time the one engine which is startable, it's in the car. Yeah, just enjoy it. Oh, it's not working. Can we do it? Maybe there's a problem, but we have a solution. Yeah, this was also a manufacturing problem. The intake system worked not maybe in the right way because there was not the right material, not the right process from one sponsor. Yeah, but we handle this. At this day, we can go one more restart, and then we can drive the first kilometers. It was just a manufacturing problem, but yeah, shit happened. Okay, now there is a testing. We are happy. You see there the guy. It's a sunny testing day. The car and the team is waiting for testing, and it's fine tuning of the drivetrain. You see there, everything is fine. 1.5 hour later, we call it team building. It's a crazy team building. The car is burning. It's not so nice, but yeah, it happened. You see there, it was at Daimler racetrack at a pre-event. Because of oil leakage, we have a fire in the rear frame. Okay, everything is dirty, everything is destroyed, and the team is horrified because it's really unhappy. And you see there, yeah, you know this, with a bolt cutter, the car is, destroyed a lot of different defect components. But very important for all of us, if there is a problem, stand up after this problem, stand up after this defeat, because save the time. And then you see the team members cleaning all the components, disassembling the car. This is the night after the fire. Everything, the rims, the monocoque, the exhaust system, everything is disassembled. And you see they're cleaning everything, check all the components, and make a list which components are destroyed. Okay, we go on. You see there? Between these two pictures, there are only 5 weeks. This was really quite hard job for us. And yeah, manufacturing a new harshness of the sponsoring, rebuilding all the car, we need new airboxes, we need new sensors and all this stuff. And then there, the car is back again on a test track, and we check all the systems, all the sensors, and made 10 kilometers in this first day. Short overview, you see there was the accident, the fire, then at the night disassembling, then we have a problem parallel to this. If one problem is coming, maybe sometimes the second is also not so far away. We need a new, because we have internal problems in the University of Applied Science, we need a new workshop. It's a big topic, yeah. And therefore we have no car and no workshop. Then 2 days later, we have all the new intake system, new parts, and we can go pedal to the metal and the first testing. At the end, the number is 144 hours later, the car is back again on the track. With a man hour about, it's a little bit more time. It's hard fighting, but we're very happy. This is a short overview about the dyno. At the dyno, we do a lot of stuff like all the other teams, base calibration, enrichment, all this stuff. We have cold, warm start. That in every condition, the engine is running as good as possible and as fast as possible. And you see there, it's 24 hours to go to dyno, but we have not the engine components. And we have, for the first fire, 1 day later on a dyno, and therefore this is also a little bit work. Some sensors, I think it's absolutely state of the art. It's a cylinder selective full indication system, lambda sensors, pressures. We measure, for example, the oil flow and the oil pressure, that we can have a look if the bearings are okay or not okay, save the engine, don't kill every part. Yes, and now I hand over to Jens for the next department.
Yeah, 2018, we have big problems with our rear frame. We have a lot of cracks in it, and we have to weld it very often, I think, every day at the event. And now we think, how can we look that this is not happening? And we weld our rear frame that we have no leakage, and we put the rear frame under pressure here with this valve, and and then we have a telemetry app with the rear frame pressure, and then we can see while driving, we can see, oh, the pressure drops down, we have a crack in the rear frame. But yeah, we don't use this one in this year, we have no problems, yeah, but I think it's really cool. And here, electronics, how we install it, the harness. It's working quite well. And yeah, no, so it was not so easy. But we have a lot of sensors in our car for testing. And yeah, you can see a picture of the night before we go testing. And it's really important that we are efficient at the testing. And you can see here some yawn for the aerodynamic at the under tray, or the corrowit sensor in the back, and here the rear wheel steering, and we measure the drive shaft torque. Yeah. Then other testing thing, this year we drive an engine cover here, and yeah, the aero guys want this, that we have more downforce in the rear, and our engine guy says, oh, the cooling, maybe that would be a problem, and we simulate it, and yeah, you can see here this picture, there are some gaps between the head restraints and the engine cover, that is some fresh airs coming to the engine, and yeah, the simulation said that it's better with the engine cover, but they think no, the engine guys. Yeah, we tested. We drive with different configurations on the car, and we calculate the gradient of the oil temperature. And then you can see here we have here the without the engine cover, and here with the engine cover, and the gradient was lower with the engine cover. Yeah, it's working better. Yeah, Markus.
Yeah, at the end, there are the events. Some words about Formula 2 in Germany. You see there a panorama picture from the Hockenheimring, and it's the first day of Formula 2 in Germany 2019. Every teams are there in the pits and preparing their car and all the stuff. We are not there. We are 126 kilometers far away from Hockenheim in Esslingen, without a clutch, but not without hope. Yeah, we're just preparing the car. We have some smaller problems. You see there is really the clutch. It's outside the car. Some other components are not at the car, but we fix these problems, and we go one day later to Hockenheim. Yeah, the track slot is missed because we're one day too late. Therefore, you see, it's also like a kind of team building, because everyone works together, and we have to put in all the stuff, all the small parts, the toolbox, and you see there the car is coming. We need this all in the pit. Therefore, we helped each other together. Yeah, this is the second day, and then the dynamics are coming. See there the driver, man and machine. The machine is working. Oh. The driver is not working, but it's the next one is coming. Okay, there are some last pictures. You see, we call it regeneration after work. It's also man and machine. This, for example, is the shaft of our dyno. You see there, it's a little bit destroyed and disassembled. Yeah, we have to fix this problem also with a new shaft. You see there, we don't need new team members, but they just need a little bit time to relax and to sleep, and the next day they are quite happy. You see they're in a trailer, and a nice testing day. Funny low voltage guy. Yes. Now we're close to the end.
Yes, the official part of our presentation is now more or less over. However, we still have something more to say. Before we continue, we would like to clarify that the video you saw in the beginning is a personal statement from Rennstall Esslingen, but in the past couple of days or weeks, we teamed up with over 45 teams to let you know something. And for that, I would like to call our friends from Karlsruhe to come on stage.
Ja, schon.
Dear FSG Committee, in the name of all teams visible on the chart behind us,
No.
there we go. We would like to take this opportunity on the stage and state the following. Many teams were eagerly awaiting for the announcement concerning FSG's strategy for the future. However, reading the announcement subsequently disillusioned many former student teams. Following, we want to give our opinion on the introduction of the Driverless Cup, the merging of all FSG classes, the phase-out of CV slots, as well as the team's concerns. For us teams, Formula Student is more than just a design competition. It is about intercultural exchange and learning from each other. What makes this competition so special is that we compete with teams from 25 countries. We compete against each other in different categories, with different concepts, in different circumstances and resources. What unites us is the same passion and love we bring into this project. By merging all classes, the access is limited. First of all, to the teams who can't afford an electric powertrain. Competitive components for the electric drivetrain are significantly more expensive compared to a combustion engine kit. Additionally, as you might already know, it is very hard to find sponsorship for the electric components. This increasing demand leads to higher prices and longer delivery times, which takes a very valuable testing time. As a result, money will be a restricting factor. What we also worry about, many teams don't have a suitable infrastructure, neither experience in operating an HV drivetrain in a safe way. A lot of universities are lacking HV laboratories and practical expertise in the field of electric powertrains. Some teams already experienced major accidents with the electronic systems, and we do not want them to have increasing.
The last 3 years of developing an autonomous system have proven that it is already a challenge for teams to implement this into an existing and reliable base vehicle. 7 teams out of 20 were able to participate in any dynamic discipline, and only 3 finished skid pad and acceleration. However, this is a conflict of objectives. Following the rules, it is mandatory to build a first-year vehicle. In order to be competitive in all autonomous disciplines, an extended testing time is a must. Implementing new innovations in the autonomous system will get harder because a lot of time will be used up for the general testing of the base vehicle. Teams therefore have to decide if they even start implementing a DV system for autocross and track drive, and therefore lose valuable testing time. Our bigger concern is now you are expecting first-year DV teams to reach a technical maturity which many teams could not achieve within 3 years in the driverless competition. We are worried about the quality of the event. Following, we are wondering how scrutineering of 100 electric cars on a DV level will be organized. Given the time pressure, a new powertrain and a complex autonomous system will always affect safety, on purpose or not. We, the teams, heart and soul of Formula Student, were surprised by the announcement and its fast and severe consequences. We appreciate the courage of FSG to break new grounds as the leading FS event in Europe. Furthermore, we trust in the board to provide an attractive and challenging format for the teams as well as the sponsors. In the end, we are affected most by these changes. We passionately build our race cars as the basis for this unique event. Unfortunately, we were not sufficiently informed about and included in the decision-making process. Furthermore, we have the feeling we were faced with the final decision without respecting our concerns and problems. With this speech, we don't want to blame any one of you. We just see this stage as one of our little opportunities to be open about what we think and worry about. Our suggestion would be inviting the teams to a big round table on a different day to discuss the development of Formula Student Germany, together with all the teams and the FSG board. Let's make Formula Student what it always was. A competition made by students for students, of all nationalities, backgrounds, with all resources and ideas. This place is something where every young engineer can present his or her craziest ideas and do what he or she always dreams of, building his or her own race car. Thank you for listening to our concerns.
So, is the microphone on? Yeah, great. Well, without going to comment it in detail, thank you very much for your clear words. I appreciate that a lot, and I don't know what kind of format we could find for the future, but thank you for stating that here.
You're welcome.
Finally, I think we have some minutes left. So if everyone is in the mood to come back to your presentation, which I would like to thank you, to say thank you also, are there questions to the Essling team for their car, for their presentation from today? I think everyone is quite overwhelmed of your last statement. Actually, I have one question to the both not engine guys. How did you feel with this very tight schedule that Markus told us about?
Well, I think in the beginning we tried to force him to follow our schedule, but he's quite stubborn, so yeah. We just think that in the end it worked, and I think that's what we're all happy about.
Yeah, okay. And Markus, how did you feel with putting the brand new engine to the car without knowing how reliable it would be?
Yeah, it was, the schedule was really quite hard, and it was not easy to handle all this stuff, but yeah, we have some backups, and yeah, I'm quite happy that it works like in the way it works, but it was not so clear that everything will work on this high level.
Yeah, I understand. There's a question over there.
I just wanted to ask, what do you think, how much worse would the old engine have performed? Do you have any, like, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah, we can talk about old engines, but it's a lot of work. I think the 4-cylinder engine was nearly on the same performance like the 2-cylinder. This year, maybe a little bit better because it's 7-year work. But the problem of, like we mentioned in the presentation, the 4-cylinder was a quite almighty engine, but it was not the best engine for the overall package because it was too big and because of the error in the suspension systems. And the last year engine, the 2-cylinder supercharged, it was just a compromise because the KTM base engine was not available. We know this. And therefore, the 4-cylinder was not the best engine for the overall car. And the last year's engine was just a step in the middle. And now we have the engine for the next years.
Yeah, but I basically mean the engine which was in the car like 4 days before the event.
Oh, you mean just the comparison between the engine 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago? Yeah, the problem is maybe the performance was nearly the same, but this engine is not rules conform because it's another displacement, it's another hardware components. We know this, and therefore we want to fix this and want to put it in the right way that we have a rules conform engine and the performance as good as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do we have more questions? Anyone in the rear? I don't see. No. I think. There is one more in the rear.
You spoke of your team building a new car, a complete new car that doesn't have much to do with the former car every season. What does happen with all the knowledge that is acquired?
Yeah, it depends a little bit on the department, because you have some overlap in one department. In the other department, you have not so much overlap, for example. But I think we have the different stuff, like a lot of teams with the wiki, with the transfer, with the documentation, with all this other stuff. But I think at the end is, like we mentioned, you have the knowledge from the old cars because it's documented. But the big advantage is you can bring in your new ideas, your new components and all this stuff, test it, and therefore we want to have new ideas and experienced team members. It's the mixture. And you're happy with the answer, and therefore, for example, 1 or 2 of the department are experienced from the last year. Then you have new ones, and then you have the experience. Maybe you have the feeling for the time schedule and all this stuff, and you have new ideas. Make the next step. Yeah, and if you build a heritage car 4 years, if you don't make the next step, if you don't bring in new innovations, you cannot win a Formula Student competition, because you stay there, you stand still, and the other teams, they're not standing still.
So, any further questions to Essling at the moment? No? If not, then thank you very much.
Thank you.